What's up, guys? It's your boy Killer Rap back at it again, and it's finally time to do DiCaprio 2, the full album. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna approach this. I'll have like time steps in the description for when each song happens, but for the most part, I'm gonna just listen to this from top to bottom and just give you my thoughts for each track and then the album as a whole. I'll probably cut and put stuff together. We'll see what happens, but you know, for the time being, I'm gonna just get right into it. I've been expecting this for a long time now, as you might know if you've been following my channel. And I'm looking for bars, diversity, depth, all that good stuff. So I'm super excited. j.i.d's so good. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. Frequency Change is the first track. Let's see what happens. Oh, it looks like a skit of some kind. Ah. Huh? Some kind of skit, I'm guessing, to preface the album, but I can barely hear what they're saying.
I'm the baddest part gonna play. Susan, I found another lover.
Ooh. It's over. This is so dramatic, dude. Oh, he's switching between channels on the TV. That's what it sounds like. Or radio. Here's the first track. It's called Slick Talk. It's just JID. Nobody else is on the track. He's got some big names on the track too, or on this album, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Activation, maturation, process rap game too saturated, granulated. On the face of acting patient.
Yo, right off the bat, he's going crazy with the flow. This track is just coming in, like the beat is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of creepy in a way, and his flow is very nonchalant delivery. I don't know. I'll see what this track is about. It's called Slick Talk. What did just happen? Did he switch? Bro, what is this beat? What is this beat, dude? Bro, like, okay, the verse is okay? He's rapping, it's whatever. It's nothing stood out to me yet, but the beat is just... Is this the same guy who produced 151 Rum? I'm guessing it's like the executive produced the album, right? That dude goes ham. I feel like he's gonna steal the show at this rate. We'll see how it goes. This is interesting. It looks like it's kind of telling the story of his life almost, or someone's life. I don't know if it's his life in particular, but it's kind of interesting so far. Better pray to God they don't get you. It's very interesting. This track almost falls perfectly in line with the 151 you'll probably hear later on, because like that track was about someone growing up where he grew up and like kind of falling off the rails, so to speak, and doing something he didn't really mean to do, sort of thing. And this is talking about the roughness of the actual getting to somewhere, sort of thing. It's interesting. I'll see. Man, that track, the beat on that track, that was something. The beat just blew my mind. I guess it kind of sets the tone for the whole album in terms of the delivery, the flow, the mood of the track. I mean, we'll see, because this is very similar to Off Deez 151 Rum in terms of the sort of overall, how do I call it? Kind of unease you feel when you're listening to it. It's like very intense or frantic as with Off Deez. So we'll see. Those are the only tracks I've heard so far ahead of time, so we'll see what the rest of this holds. Next up is Westbrook featuring A$AP Ferg. That should be fun. Again, do you hear a very minor key, right? It's like a Phrygian key. That's what it feels like. For those of y'all music nerds, it sounds like a Phrygian of some kind. Yo, this is insane. The production on this album is insane. Fuck. This is wild. Oh shit. Bro, I'm just gonna go work out after this. I'm not even kidding. I can't just listen to this and not want to work out after. Bro, is this his cipher? Because Slick Talk was his freestyle, XXL freestyle, and Westbrook is his XXL cipher. I don't know what came first, whether he used a cipher on the beat or whether he used the track from the album on the cipher. Who knows? Who knows? This is insane. This beat is just out of this world. Like that. So far, the production has progressively gotten better, in my opinion, right? Westbrook, I thought the production and the feel of the track was much more in your face and powerful than Slick Talk. Slick Talk had a bit better, or I don't want to say better, but a bit more depth in terms of the lyricism, from what I recall anyway. But the production is really what's still in the show for me so far. I'm only 2 tracks in, but the lyricism has been, classic JID, but it hasn't been too captivating for me yet. But the instrumentals, bruh, the feel of the tracks has been on point. Next up is Off Deez, and you already know how I feel about that one. I think it's dope. I'm really surprised that j.i.d and J. Cole were able to rap on the same level. Honestly, Off Deez, I'm about to say some controversial stuff, but I wasn't really feeling the instrumental. I wasn't really feeling the track overall. Like, I understand that they rapped hella hard, and I think J. Cole personally, I think he stole the show. Not because he necessarily rapped better, but because it subverted the expectation one might have for J. Cole. You know what I mean? Because I didn't expect J. Cole to go that ham. But overall, the track was kind of lackluster, right? It didn't really do anything astounding, right? Sure, they rapped fast, and they had some technical stuff in there, but it wasn't spectacular to me, personally. I thought 151 Rum is way better. And that's next, so I'm gonna get into that. This, probably my favorite beat so far off the album. No questions asked. Because, well, first of all, it has that South Asian influence, which I obviously love, being that I am South Asian. And then just the pace of the track, the beat, everything. It all fell together for me. This is so sick. So sick. Son of a god, son of a bitch, son of a woman or man, son of a son, and a second a bitch, son of a back. You know, when I first listened to 151 Rum, I didn't really take in all the lyrics in it, right? There's one guy in my comments who nailed it. I'll see if I can give him the credits in the corner, but if you listen to the actual lyrics, the story he's telling on this track is like actually really captivating. It's about this guy who, like, gets a little drunk, gets a little high, 151 with a blunt mixed, right? It's just an everyday thing for them, but next thing you know, he's accidentally murdering somebody and ruining his whole life, and he's in this whole mess, and it's like a very interesting story. Like, it's not the thing about 150 Rum, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know how we're going to think about it, it's not told in the easiest way to digest, because JID does not rap easy. He's got to come with the heat, and that's what he does. So the story's a little bit lost, but on the other side of the coin, it's part of the delivery, part of the messages, how frantic it is, right? It's like the guy who's undergoing the stuff that's happening in the story, the pace of the track, the frantic nature of the delivery, the flow, the rhymes, everything, that embodies the feeling that the guy would feel. And that's just like, I don't think that's coincidence. I guarantee you he thought about that when he made that son of a guy, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, JID is a magician, as he so self-proclaims. It is true. He is. So far, like, 151 Rum, far and away the best track on the album. Like, I don't even know. I don't know how they can get better, right? I'm so excited to hear the rest. All right, next up is Off the Zoinkeys. I don't know what that means. Someone can tell me what the hell that means. Please do so in the comments right now. Oh, there's my dog in the corner. I forgot about her. Ooh, this is a very different pace from the rest of the album so far. Everything thus far has been intense, very frantic, kind of really in your face, right? It's the type of music to get your heart pumping so far. But let's see how this is, because this sounds like a smooth ass, jazz ass track, so let's go. Interesting. He's taking an anti-drug stance here. I wonder what that's about. Ooh, do you guys hear that flow? How he's switching from the triplet over to the double time? I'm anticipating a double time, but the way he did that switch, you barely noticed it happening. That was super dope. I'm excited to hear how this goes. 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. Man, this beat, this choral sound. You know, I was talking about how earlier it's all very frantic and minor key, very sort of dark. I guess that's the word I never used yet, but it's kind of dark. This starts to bring some more energy and positivity to the album. And he's talking about some sort of more positive messages, right? How he's got to get off that, get away from that, elevate himself sort of thing. He's got to get off the Zoinkeys. I'm guessing Zoinkeys might mean drugs. I got to Google the word Zoinkeys. Oh, God. I have no idea what it means. But I'm guessing it's some kind of metaphor for negativity in life, right? We'll see. But the positive, I feel more uplifted. There's more major key in this one song than the rest of the album. I gotta be strong. I ain't trying to be where I don't belong. Sometimes you just gotta make your own path. Sometimes you gotta make yourself belong. I don't know. That's just me. It's funny because the beat is more uplifting in this, but I actually find his delivery is a bit more pointed and more aggressive, right? Maybe it's the consonants in the verbiage he's using, or it's just the way he's choosing to project his voice, but I actually find it's a little bit more articulate and pointed in this song, which is really interesting. Kind of change. It's almost a shift in the mood of the album. And come to think of it, he was saying this album is a movie, right? And you know, 151 Rum was a song about him screwing up his own life, and you know, someone just doing the wrong thing, being in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong state of mind. And now he's talking about getting off that stuff, off the drugs, because 151 Rum and a blunt, right? That's the theme of that last song. Now it's like, I gotta stay away from the Xan and the lean and the, you know, get myself head clear. Ooh, I'm getting it. JID, you're on something right now. He's getting super deep, dude. This is an inflection point in the album. Let's get it. Let's go, JID. This is so dope. Whoa. Like the combination of 151 followed by Off the Zoinkeys, I think is a perfect sort of song ordering, sort of song placement, because both of those are probably so far my favorite tracks on the album individually, but together I think they're the best so far. That's really what's there. I like that. Like Off Deez didn't really feel like the same sort of track as the rest of the album in terms of the mood, so we'll see how this goes. Workin Out is next. I think I did this. It's the same as the Color Show. Oh, look at that. Do you feel that? This is like gospel. He's really reformed himself in this movie. Because the first track is pure trap, pure hardcore stuff. Off the Zoinky starts to introduce an element of sort of jazzy, gospel-y feel, right? There's more major key, there's more, but it's still a lot of trap-esque elements to that. But the lyricism is changing toward a more positive, more reformed tone. Working Out starts full gospel. I'm loving this. Let's see how this goes. Piano and everything. High, like the classic sort of alto soprano wailing over the top. This is an interesting change, right? Off the Zoinkeys was him sort of coming to the realization that he needs to change his life, blah, blah, blah. Working Out, the beat is very like uplifted, sort of awoke. I don't know, for lack of a better word. But the lyrics are kind of like, you know, I'm trying, but this shit ain't working out. So I'm interested to see if the album will come like full circle sort of and go back toward the guttural, grimy sort of stuff that the album started with, and kind of tells that story of someone trying to change and then falling back into old habits die hard sort of thing. We'll see how it goes though. Who is he talking to? Is someone talking to him or is he talking to someone? Sounds like the devil on his shoulder.
Bro, why did J. Cole got all this money look like he about to borrow somebody's charger or something?
That's hilarious. It's kind of a criticism to J. Cole's appearance, I guess. It's actually kind of funny, right? It's like J. Cole is this very like sort of down-to-earth persona and tries to like relate to the people he like, you know, is relatively disheveled when he comes out into the media, when he's like in music videos and this and that. But at the end of the day, the dude's a multimillionaire, right? Like it doesn't it doesn't make sense to portray that image when you're not necessarily living that life anymore. So like that's kind of an interesting criticism. I don't know if that's actually what this guy was going for. If it was just a joke, probably just a joke, but that's interesting. That's interesting. Anyway, it's unrelated to the track though. I just wanted to comment on that. But yeah, the track is kind of interesting. It seemed like a kind of a conflict between what he's thinking and then what I call it the devil on his shoulder. It might be just an outside looking in perspective. Maybe it's him talking on himself. I don't know, but it's interesting to see. And I'm excited to see what the next track is. It's called Tide, featuring Black. Oh my gosh, Black is dope, or Six Lack as I like to call him, as everyone likes to call him, and LMI. I don't know who LMI is, but I'm excited for this. This is fantastic. Oh my god. Dude, this is so smooth. Like the vocal harmonies and the vocal like melodies have been so dope for this part. Just the instrumentals changed tone again, right? Off the Zoinkeys was like or off the Zoinkeys Working Out, between there was like the pinnacle of the positive mood, and this is kind of ambiguous. The feel is a little kind of uncertain. That's the word I would use, right? It's positive, but it's negative, and it's like it's got this weird mix of harmonies that are going on. I'm excited to see where this goes. Who this? You can feel the pain in the beat, in the delivery, right? Oh, this is my boy! Yo, is this LMI? Damn, LMI came in at the last like 20 seconds and just killed it. That was super dope. I really enjoyed that track. Like that's the mood track, right? I was saying it was a little ambiguous and uncertain about what the mood of the track is, and clearly it's like someone sort of reflecting on positives while describing their pain, if that makes any sense. That's kind of how the vibe I got from that. And it's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know exactly how that fits into the grand scheme of what appears to be kind of a redemption story, redemption arc. But maybe it's saying, you know, this is some of the struggles you're having that's going to make your life harder, right? It's going to make it harder to find that redemption and make yourself better. So that's interesting. I'm eager to see how this keeps going. Skrawberries is next. That's gonna be interesting.
My girl booty sauce and shit like strawberry.
What? This gives me like a 2004 vibe.
And I call her Feminem.
Feminem. That's hilarious. Dope. JID kind of supporting feminism, which I think is great, right? Everyone should be on equal footing, etc. Blah blah blah.
Without that makeup or the plastic surgery, I'm gonna tell you how it is, like Ron Burgundy.
It's funny how like he just mentioned that he, you know, supports feminism, and then at the same time he's like, girl, you look better without the makeup and the blah blah blah. But isn't the whole idea that they should be able to choose whatever the fuck they want with their bodies and their faces and stuff? Like maybe it's not for you, sort of thing. I don't know. I feel like that's an interesting kind of contradiction there. Everybody. Yo, is this a sax solo? That was a dope standalone track, but it kind of lost its meaning on me a couple times. I don't understand how this fits within the overarching theme of the album, but the song is a lot of fun to listen to. Like that BJ's voice and the delivery at the end and the positive overall message sort of thing. Sax solo, obviously. So I used to be a jazz musician, so sax solos. Yeah. Overall, though, not my favorite track on the album. Actually, strictly my least favorite track on the album so far, but it's still good, naturally. Okay, Hotbox is next. Ooh, meth. All right, let's get into it. All right, the song would start. My internet's being rather fickle at the moment. Would you please begin? Abracadabra. Simsalabim. Pretty please. Oh, that worked. Okay, there you go. You hear that rhyme scheme though? That whole thing rhymed. That whole thing rhymed. That was fucking dope. That was a little disappointing. It was really kind of a momentum killer given the whole rest of the album. I mean, actually, I felt like Skrawberries was the momentum killer, but this just like cemented it. Like, this album is not ending super strong right now. Hopefully, it can pick it up a bit. But like the beat was super mellow and chill. It is what it is, right? I think they were going for sort of a '90s boom bap sort of feel, very Wu-Tang-esque, right? Method Man came with the heat. JID came with the heat. Joey came with the heat. But it was all sort of like here. None of it was like up here sort of thing. Maybe I was expecting too much, but it was a solid track. I just felt like it didn't really fit with the rest of the album, but that's just me. I feel like the album's kind of lost direction at about Tide is where I felt like it started losing direction. So let's see how it goes. One more try. How many tracks? Mounted Up is next. This flow. Oh my god, what's happening? What the fuck is happening? What was that? Seeking the answers at the bottom of the hen bottle or something to that effect is what he said. And the last track was Hotbox, which is about holding on to the spliff. He is fully reverting. It's kind of what I expected. He's reverting.
Look at me now, I don't feel me.
Bro, did he just crash his car? Did he just... He went off the rails and crashed his car. Did you hear that? I think I missed the ball on the last song, but it started to fall together again. It's all about how he tried to change his life and then realized, the secret to his success and to his art was actually the drugs that was initially getting him into trouble in the first place. So now he went back to it, and he's like, yo, screw this, I'm going to go back to it. This beat had a sense of arrogance to it, right? It was very simple, but kind of, how do I put this? It had just a very aggressive tempo without being very complex. The Henny bottle line is one that really gets to me, right? It's the one that puts all of this together. And then he crashed his car, so let's see how the next track goes. It's called Just the Other Day. It's an interesting speech. Who is this? Sounds familiar, but can't recognize. The delivery is very drunken. Does that make any sense? Yeah, this is going just the other way. That bass line is the embodiment of the feeling of this track. It's so dark, it's so grimy. And then the piano. He's losing his mind, right? Do you hear that? Full schizo for the dough. Do you feel that? It's like heavy metal feel. Anger, rage, chaos. That's all I'm hearing here. This is wild. The distortion on the bass line. Do you hear this? Bro, he's going... Bro, if they ended the album right... I know there's another track. It's called Despacito 2. But if they ended the album right here, I'd get it. It's gone full circle, right? It's pure chaos. It's pure chaos, much like Slick Talk sort of was. It's even more chaotic. That ending with the distortion was even more chaotic in my mind. So, I don't know where Despacito 2 is going. But I'm excited. It's an interesting beat. It's crazy. I don't know how to feel about this track. It's kind of like him accepting his fate. And he's saying, if I die, it is what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be.
There it is. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. Who? I wonder who this is talking to him. Oh my god, why is he going so ham? Why do you need to go this ham, Jid? Do what you want, whatever you feel in your stomach, whatever you gotta do at the moment. Only the strong survive, only the strong in mind and soul and spirit and spine. You stand firm. What is that? What was that for? Oh, this sounds super dope. What the fuck is this? I love this sound. The very spacey ambient. Alien sound almost. Is this him dying? I wonder if the car crash from the other song and the car crash in this song are the same car crash. You know, link the story together. Wow. Okay. What an album. I really enjoyed the overall sound of the album. I thought the instrumentals were just phenomenal for the most part. There's a couple tracks where actually no, that's not true. Every instrumental was fantastic. It fit the mood of each track very well. The rapping on each song, it's JID. It's gonna be good, but some of the tracks were a little weaker to me than the others in terms of sort of directionality. But I realized after the fact that in reality that's kind of to fit the overarching theme of the album, which is like, you know, someone who starts here, tries his best to get up here, but at the end of the day, the life takes him back to down here. And it's like a full circle sort of story that he's telling here, which I think is super dope. And the use of drugs is a common theme in the album. The difference in the harmonies of the background instrumentals is a common theme I find. Like the contrast between major keys, minor keys, and just the mood that befits each of those within the context of the album. Overall, like, you know, specifically I like the use of drugs and alcohol as, you know, the vices and how we kind of put it all together. Super dope album. I feel like the song could have ended just the other day. I didn't think they need Despacito 2. Despacito 2 was fucking dope, but I didn't know that if they needed it. Personally, my favorite track, probably 151 Rum. Westbrook was super hype. Just the Other Day was good. Hell, everything is good. It's hard to call a favorite song, but yeah, that's my take on it. I mean, it like kept me captivated more or less for the whole thing. Could have been a little bit more cohesive in terms of how they broke up the album. I felt like Skrawberries was definitely the weakest link on the album. That song did not need to be there. That's just me though. So I'll give the song a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty dope, right? I think so. Yeah, that's that. I don't know what else to say. Let me know what y'all think. Maybe an 8, 7.5 to 8, somewhere in that range. Let me know what y'all thought. This is Killer Rap, signing out.